kids, welcome back. This is going to be a long video. Before you kill me, I'm warning you now. I've been meaning to do this video for a while, and this is going to be on one of my favorite brands at the drugstore, Wet n Wild. And I know I talk about Wet n Wild a lot. The reason why I talk about Wet n Wild a lot is because they're affordable. For the most part, the quality is amazing, and you know, it's easy access. You've got a great variety of products, and I feel like this spring they're really starting to bump up their game. So I have a bunch of stuff to talk about. I have brushes, primers, powders, blushes, eyeshadows, eyeliners, all kinds of stuff. So this is going to be a very long video. I'm going to kind of give little mini reviews on everything, and yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into it. And now some of this stuff, I don't have all of the new stuff that has come out. I have a lot of it. Some of it I've used, some of it I have yet to use, but I will be doing swatches and all that kind of good stuff. So first off, let's start with the new Fergie. Well, Fergie has come out with a lot of stuff, and the first thing I got was the Take on the Day mattifying powder. Now this is just a translucent powder. It comes in this little compact, and it comes with a little poof underneath, and it actually says Fergie Wet n Wild on it. It's very cute, which I think is handy if you're just going to throw this in your purse. The powder is very translucent. It almost has like that silicone feel to the skin, so I'm really interested to try this out. I have not used it yet, but I did pick that up. Yeah, I totally just rickrolled myself. There's a reason. Look what I found, yay! I had to include this in this video. That video is ready to go up. It's edited, it's done, but yeah, it's happening. But I just found these. I have been looking for these contour palettes for 2 weeks now. And I'm just a big dummy and didn't realize it was a Walmart exclusive, so I'm over here like hunting up like Walgreens and CVS and Rite Aid and Walmart. Done. Anyway, I'm really excited about these. I have used these. I'm using this one today. Super, super pretty. But I just want to tell you about these. I know contouring and highlighting is all the rage right now, and I just wanted to swatch these babies for you. So there's two. Wet n Wild has two new contouring palettes. The first one is called Dolce Candy. I'm making stuff up. Caramel Toffee. So anyway, these palettes come with two powders a piece. They're both matte. This one's a little bit more on the pink tone. This is Caramel Toffee. And they're just really, really pretty. The powders feel really nice. And they're nice and cool tone. So I'm excited about that. There's no shimmer in these. And then there's Dolce de Leche. And this one is a little bit more yellow toned. This one, this powder is a little bit warmer than the other one. So I'm really, really excited for these, and I just had to interrupt. I don't know if you can even tell. Can you tell? Can you tell the color of that one? Really pretty. Still really cool toned, but these are going to give a nice subtle highlight to us ghost girls. So anyway, back to your regularly scheduled YouTube. What's new? And then the next thing I got were the three new 10-hour around-the-clock blushes. Now, everybody's been talking about these. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these for you. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these for you, and I'm sure you've already seen them. The first one is Brush with Danger, which is a really pretty matte, kind of like hot pink. Now, when these swatch, these are very powdery blushes. However, when you put them on the cheeks, they are beautiful, they perform well, and they really do last all day. I have put them to the test. They will last you 10, 11, 12 hours, at least on my skin. And I have normal combo to dry skin. It just kind of depends. My absolute favorite is the Brush with Destiny, which is this really pretty orange, kind of like corally peach with gold reflex in it. I've been wearing this one to death right there. And then the last one is called Brush with Brilliance, which is like kind of a warm pink, again with gold reflex in it. Really, really pretty. And it's not to where it's too shiny on the cheeks. It just gives a beautiful glow to the skin. My only complaint about these is that these are extremely fragile. Do not drop these, do not bang these around because they will make a mess and go all over the place. All right, the next thing that they have come out with from the Fergie line is the Wet n Wild Velvet Matte Lip Colors. And they come like this, and I have two colors. I have Transcendence and I have Pinky Candy. So I have two of these, and you know, this is right on trend with the matte lip colors that everybody's coming out with right now. I do like these. I like the way they feel on the lips. I think the colors are pretty. This is Transcendence and this is Pinky Candy. My only problem with these is that, like, they just pop right out. So it's not a real high quality packaging. If that's not gonna bother you, that's totally fine. Will I pick more of these up? Maybe. There's a really pretty like lilac-y purple color that I'm kind of interested in. I do use these. I like the way they feel on the lips. They're not extremely long wearing, but they are a very low maintenance lip product that you can kind of just throw in your purse and reapply. However, you do have to be careful that they don't get like smushed into the cap or anything like that. So, but you know, again, it's a $3 product. I like the actual product. I just don't like the packaging. So just beware of that. Again, it's fragile packaging, just like the blushes, if you're gonna pick those up. The next thing that they have, and I just recently talked about these in my favorites video, are the new Color Icon brow pencils. And I like these because these, first of all, they're about $1.79. I think at Walgreens they're 2 for $3 right now. And they have them based on your hair color. So they have a brow pencil for brunettes and one for blondes and one for redheads. And I picked up two. I picked up the one for brunette and the one for blondes. And these are nice. They're not overly warm toned or reddish. They're nice, cool. They almost have like an olivey green undertone to them. So I really do like these. They come with a spoolie on the end, which I generally don't use those. And then you have your brow product. These are very creamy. So when I first got them, I was like, well, there's no way this is gonna stay on my face. I put it on and I set it with some powder, and I actually set it with a Salon Perfect brow powder. And they lasted all day. I was really, really impressed. They are not as dry as like the Anastasia Brow Wiz or as the NYX like micro pencil. So they are more emollient, they're more creamy, but if you set them with a powder, they do last all day. Now again, if you have oily skin, oily brows, this might not work for you, but if you have normal dry skin, this might be a good option. And again, they're nice, cool toned colors. They are creamy, but I find that they stayed where I put them as long as I set them with a powder all day. So I really do like the new brow pencils from Wet n Wild. Next thing that I picked up was and I actually picked these up in a promotional kit from Rite Aid. I got both of them for $5. Now they're selling for $5 a piece. And this is the Coverall Primer and the Coverall Correcting Palette. Now, this palette I do use. I use mainly the yellow and the white color. So it's got like a, what is it? The green is like to cover redness, the purple and yellow are to correct color, and the white is to brighten and highlight. So I really don't use the purple or the green. They are very pigmented. I don't find them to be like really dry. They're pretty creamy. So that's the purple and the green, and then the yellow and the white, again, the same, they're very pigmented. Now the yellow, what I use it for is on days when I'm doing just all Wet n Wild products for Wet n Wild Wednesday or anything like that, I'll use the yellow in place of my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot, and it works very nicely as a base. It doesn't cause my eyeshadow to crease. It doesn't cause it to wear away any faster. It just kind of gives it a nice sticky base to adhere to. So I do like it for that purpose, and I will use that on days when I'm not using my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. And then the white shade is really interesting. It's a white cream shade with sparkles in it, and I find that you can really sheer this out onto the skin, and it gives a beautiful brightening, highlighting effect. There is some shimmer in it, and you can see it, but what I like to do with this is kind of sheer this out on my cheeks and then top it with a more subtle highlighter like Reserve Your Cabana from Wet n Wild. And I do like it, again, for that purpose. Is this, again, one of those products that you need to brush out and grab? No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. If you're interested and want to try it out, definitely it does have its uses, and I do enjoy it, but I don't think it's like a must-have. The primer, again, is kind of in that same line. Now it claims to be a magic potion. Well, come on. It says it refines pores, fills fine lines, brightens complexions, and even skin tone. I do find that it gives helps to give my foundation a nice, smoother finish. I don't think it is a magic potion. It is a very creamy, almost like a moisturizing kind of texture. So, and it feels like a moisturizer. Now, when you put this on the skin and allow it to dry, like on your hand, it does seem to really blur fine lines and wrinkles. I don't notice that as much on my face, but what I do really like this for is for those thicker foundations that are harder to blend out or that tend to streak a little bit more on me. I like this because I feel like it makes it those foundations go on smoother and blend in a little bit more flawlessly and really kind of stay in place throughout the day, and it helps prevent them from catching on any dry patches on my skin. So I do really like this. So if you are looking for a good kind of moisturizing primer, I mean, it's only $4. I know there are some amazing primers at the drugstore. This is just the one that I happen to be using right now, and I do like it. I like it a lot. So I don't necessarily think it's a magic potion, but it definitely has a purpose that it serves very well for me. All right, the next thing I picked up from Wet n Wild, I was really excited. Wet n Wild has started to come out with some new brushes. Now, if you are a drugstore, stalker like I am, you probably saw these come out a few months ago. These are okay. These were like $1. They're cute. I picked them up. I don't think I ever use these really unless it's for a very specific purpose. But I did pick them up. The new brushes from Wet n Wild I'm a lot more impressed with. They have a flat foundation brush, which I didn't pick up just because I don't use them. And then they have a powder brush, which is this one right here, and an eyeshadow brush. So these are shorter. For example, these are like the e.l.f. brushes. So they're a little bit shorter than like the e.l.f. brushes. If you're looking at like a Coastal Scents brush, they're a lot shorter. So great for travel. These, I think this one was $2 and this one was $1. Now the eyeshadow brush I'm really impressed with. It's dense, it's natural hair. It's dense, but it's very soft. And I find that it's really good for packing in color. If you do it flat, you can really get into your crease with it to put a defining color. And if you turn it, this way, long way, you could definitely blend out. And I have used it for all of those purposes and it worked really well. I was really impressed for a $1 brush. So I really do like this one. Now the powder brush is synthetic hair. It is not as soft. I think it's synthetic hair. It really didn't say on there, but it's not as soft. It's relatively densely packed. This again, it reminds me of the e.l.f. complexion brush where it's got that pinched ferrule. So you can use this for contouring, I've used it for blush, and I've used it for highlighting. And I like it for all three. It is not, so this is the Wet n Wild and this is the e.l.f. So the e.l.f. is a little bit bigger, a little bit fluffier, and a little bit wider. It's not quite as soft as the e.l.f. complexion brush, but I do feel like it is almost up to par with it. And for $2, again, it's a $2 brush. So if you see these, definitely give it a try. I think these would be great for traveling, and it's definitely a great multi-purpose brush. Another thing I want to talk about is the new Shimmer Palette. Now, Fergie came out with 3 Shimmer Palettes, and I have 2 of them. I have Rose Golden Goddess, and I have Rose Champagne Glow, which is one of my favorite highlighters. It's very shimmery. I like that depending on the look I'm going for. So if you don't like shimmer, you're not going to like these. But this one is called Hollywood Boulevard, and it's got some interesting marbling. It's got some yellow and brown and pink in there. And this is a really pretty, like, straight up, just intense golden highlighter. Now, this would be a little too dark on me right now. It is really pretty. You can sheer it out, and it is definitely a little bit more subtle, maybe not so much on me right now because I'm really pale because it's in the middle of winter. I think this is going to be a beautiful highlighter over the summer, and I think also this would just make a gorgeous eyeshadow. Just really pretty, and I was really excited to pick that up because I do like Rose Champagne Glow. I really like that one, and I think that one is one of my favorite like go-to shimmery highlighters. So I was excited about this one. So if you like a shimmery highlight, go out and check out the Shimmer Palettes from the Fergie line. These. All right, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is Wet n Wild's new, well, they're new, they've got some new colors and they've got some reformulated colors, but the whole line is reformulated, and it's the Wet n Wild Color Icon Kohl Eyeliner. There's 10 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I actually have all 10. These are $1 each. And I used to have the old Color Icon pencils, but I just threw them away because they were too dry. They not pigmented enough and just would drag on your eyes. So not really a great deal for $1. These, however, I'm very impressed with these. They're not they're not going to be as emollient, as creamy as an Urban Decay 24/7 pencil, as maybe a NYX Scandalize, but I mean, Wet n Wild, again, they're stepping it up, and I was really, really impressed with the formulation of these, and I've actually done some looks with them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go through all the colors real quick. This one is called Taupe of the Morning. Then you have You're Always White. Then we have Of Quartz, which is a really pretty purple. Then we have Pretty in Mink, which is a really pretty cool toned brown. Then we have Prose and Bronze, which is a gorgeous metallic bronze. Love that one. Then we have Don't Leave Me, which is a gorgeous olive green. I've used this one in a look so pretty. This might be my favorite one. Then we have Calling Your Buff, which is going to be harder to see because it's pretty close to my skin tone right there. Then we have Like, Comment, Subscribe, which I have also used in a look, and I really love it. That's such a pretty blue. Really like that one. We have Simma Brown now. I love the names. Really pretty. This one's a little bit more warm toned than Pretty in Mink. And then we've got Baby's Got Black, which is just your standard black pencil. So really impressed with all of these. I think these are such a great buy. If you are looking for some fun, unusual, and they have some unusual colors with the olive green and the bronze, and this blue is just really pretty. So if you were looking for some good drugstore eyeliners, you want to try them out, I definitely recommend these. I think they're fantastic. Maybe not for the waterline, but especially for the lower lash line, these are good job, Wet n Wild. All right, Wet n Wild has also come out with 3 new eyeshadow palettes from the Fergie line. They've come out with a new Quint, which is called Camouflage Couture, and I actually did a tutorial on this look, with this palette a couple weeks ago for Wet n Wild Wednesday. It's a really pretty palette, got some beautiful greens in there, and then that really pretty gold. Now, a lot of comments on my video were that it's just a very difficult palette to make work. You have to put a little bit more effort into it as far as getting the pigmentation and the colors to stay, whether it's using eye drops, Matte Fix Plus, some e.l.f. Lock and Seal. I do really like this, and I like the look it created from it. If you're more of a low maintenance type of girl, guy, this might not be a great palette for you, but if you are like me, to where you're willing to put a little bit of extra time into making a look work, if you're going for a specific look, this is a beautiful green palette. Absolutely love it. And then Wet n Wild's also come out with 2 new 10-pan eyeshadow palettes from the Fergie collection. These are called the Photo Focus Studio eyeshadow palettes. We have it in Paris Runway, and then we have it in Milano Collection. So first off, let's talk about Paris Runway. I'm going to swatch these all for you. This is a beautiful, this one reminds me of Duchess Lounge. It reminds me from Wet n Wild. It also reminds me of the Poetica palette without the pops of orange from Kat Von D. So an absolutely gorgeous palette, especially if you like purples, if you like dark, smoky eyes. This is going to be an amazing find for you. So let me swatch those for you. So these are the swatches. So you've got some very pretty champagne-y pinks down here, some light purples, some deeper purples, all the way into any kind of black you could think of or need. These are really pretty. I like the pigmentation on these. They swatch a little bit better on the hand than they go on the eye, but again, I really like the looks that I've created with these, and I think it comes with a really nice, like, little decent brush that I've also used. And I think, again, if you are one of those girls who likes a good smoky eye, when you're going out, you like those purple tones, this is going to be a great palette for you. And these are $8, I believe, at Walgreens. And the next palette that we have is just an absolutely gorgeous neutral palette, and it's called Milano Collection, where all the shadows in Paris Runway were metallic or shimmery. These have 5 mattes and 5 shimmers. And I love this palette. I think this palette is so well thought out because the colors that you want to be matte are matte. You've got a matte highlight, you've got a matte transition color, and then you've got 3 deep, darker matte shades. Beautiful. And then you have these beautiful array of gold, bronze, rose gold, and like a really pretty shimmery taupe to highlight with. Let me swatch these and then we'll talk about them a little bit more. All right, so these are the shades from Milano Collection. Again, you've got some really pretty, you've got a matte highlight down here, which is going to be hard to see on my skin, a kind of a champagne-y color, a really pretty, like, true gold color, a bronzy color. It's almost coming off orange here. Then you have a kind of, or sorry, it's more an orange gold color, then a bronzy color. Then you have that matte transition shade. It's a really pretty like taupey brown, this really pretty shimmery taupe color, and then you have these deeper, darker browns and blacks. These mattes feel so beautiful and buttery. They blend really well. The looks you get out of these are gorgeous. Some of these shades, the shimmery shades, do perform better when they are wet, but again, just a gorgeous, gorgeous eyeshadow palette from the drugstore for $8. You get 10 shadows. And again, it's one of those ones, you've got some cool tones, some warm tones. You've got some amazing matte shades. I love it when you get a palette where they throw in the matte shades that you want to be matte. I do not like a frosty highlight. I don't like a frosty black. I want a matte black. I want a matte brown. I want like a mid-tone transition shade that's matte, and I want a matte highlight, and it's all in this palette. And I just think this palette is fantastic, and if you're going to buy any of the new Wet n Wild palettes from Fergie, this should be the one you pick up, especially if you like neutrals. All right, we just have a couple more things to talk about. So I'm sure by now I've already done a video on these, so I'm not going to swatch these or open these up because I got a whole extra set because I'm going to be doing something with them. I'm not sure what yet. But we've got the new Silver Lake collection, and it comes with 5 of the 6-pan eyeshadow palettes. These are gorgeous. I will link my swatch video down below. You've got California Roll, which is beautiful brights, oranges, and greens. Vinyl Collection, which is an amazing, gorgeous neutral palette. Embrace Obscurity, which is really pretty. It's not my favorite, but it does have some beautiful colors in there. Thrift Store Chic, which is gorgeous, gorgeous rosy shades. And then Vegan Culture, which I just think they have some beautiful shades that are not common to the drugstore. So these are $4 a piece at Walgreens where I am. So definitely try and get your hands on those if you can. And then I noticed that Wet n Wild brought back one of the old discontinued Color Icon trios for St. Patrick's Day. So Cool as a Cucumber. So if you didn't miss out on this the first time, this is back out in Walgreens for a limited time for St. Patrick's Day, and it's really, really pretty. It was on a little display. You know when you walk into Walgreens and they have those displays with all the new stuff with a couple of, I think it was the bronze and the green kohl eyeliners, and they have a new olive colored mascara out, which I didn't pick up because I've got so many mascaras right now. So, but I did pick up a new one of these too, that is still unopened. So yeah, so if you missed out on this, go pick this one up because this one just has, it's a beautiful little quad with that purple and those 2 greens. So that is everything that I have that is out at the drugstore that's new from Wet n Wild. I know this video was super long, I apologize, but I just wanted to share with you some thoughts, some things that I've really enjoyed, really enjoyed from the line, and things that maybe aren't necessarily a must-have. So, but let me know what you're using, what you like from the line, or that you're planning on going out and getting. I'd love to hear from you. But as always, you guys, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're not already, subscribe, like, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye guys.